Guys, today we are going to make a risotto. To continue, I'm going to share with you the ingredients for this preparation, and I hope that you enjoy this video. Thank you.
The first thing we are going to need is a special rice for risotto, a chopping board, butter without salt, mushrooms, a báscula, cheese, a jug to measure ml, and a chicken broth cube. We are going to measure 1 exact liter and we put into in a pot. And there we are going to measure 550 ml and add it. Then we are going to add the chicken cube of chopping chicken broth and stir it until it starts to boil. We must stir constantly. This special rice for risotto does not need to be washed beforehand. The brand that I am using, in my opinion, is the most recommended. The brand name is Scotty. It is ready for use. It is ready for us to use. In my case, I'm going to measure approximately 140 grams, which will be for 2 persons. Power to do more. With unlimited possibilities for the recipes, the power is in your hands. Royal Prestige. We're going to use a little bit of olive oil, just a little bit, and this is how the chicken broth will be after a while, but we still have to wait for it boil. We are going to use 2 cloves of garlic and we are chop them finely. So that it's easier to chop and the flavor does not come out so strong, it is always important to crush them hard with a knife and then chop it. Once we have the chopped garlic, we are just going to throw it into the pot with oil. And they're gonna mix a little bit. If we see that the garlic browns very quickly, we change the power to the pot or lower the heat a lot. Now what follows is to cut a red onion into a small squares. Now you're gonna see a professional cut of onions. Once we have it, we put it together with the garlic and stir. We're gonna wash the mushrooms very well. They don't have to be well washed if they are going to cause a diarrhea. In my case, I'm not going to cut them signs, they are going to shrink and they are not going to be noticed later on the plate. And again, we continue mixing. The basis of this recipe is to mix. So yeah, you have to mix all the time. What this time now is toast the rice a bit so that it is a half crunchy, and once the chicken broth has boiled we turn it off, and again we have to mix. And if we want the process a little faster, we raise the flame a little, not much because it burns afterwards. And we have mix. Now we have to put a little bit of wine white, just a little bit. It's like there gonna be much flavor in that, so we have to put a little bit, not too much, a little bit. Again we stir and we have to wait for the alcohol to reduce. As you know that this has already reduced it easily. It no longer smells of alcohol, no matter how simple it sounds, the key is to smell. Once it doesn't smell like alcohol, we're going to put 2 spoons of the broth, always 2 by 2, and we are stirring it until it is consumed. Once it is consumed again, we put more broth like this until the rice is cooked. You have to wait. Once the broth is about to reduce, we put 2 spoons back. 1, okay, and 2. And we have obviously mix. We have to mix again and letting it to reduce again. We have to wait, and we have to repeat the process. Other 2 cups of the broth, yeah, and mix it again. Now we have to prove if the rice is cooked. Once again they reduce, we check again if it is cooked. For this there is a trick. If you crush a grain of rice and it is easily pureed and it is not hard, it's already cooked. Since it's already cooked so that the rice doesn't go overboard, I add the last 2 tablespoons of broth, but it depends a lot of the pot on the flame. In my case I don't need more broth. Once the last of the broth is almost at 0, we are going to use a little less than a half of a stick of butter and continue mixing. This is to give to the risotto cremosidad, and it's time to add the salt to taste. Yes, let me mix it, and the salt. Just salt and nothing more. If you want a little bit of pepper, put, but I just add salt and mix it again. Now you can see the risotto have a texture of cremosidad, or that is because of the butter, and it's very important to mix. Now we're going to put a little bit of cheese. In my case, I use cheese La Chonta. I think that is the best one. And mix it again. And the cheese is also for la cremosidad. Mix, mix, mix. Now we have to put the risotto in a plate to eat. Wait. I put a little bit of oregano and that's the result.
Sabe riquísimo.
¿Qué le pondrías o qué le añadirías?
No, nada. Pero es mi primera vez que pruebo, pero me sabe riquísimo.
Ya, qué bueno. Gracias.